Hello there everyone and welcome back. Good God, what an introduction back to Blood Bowl 2, I gotta say. Sure, I may have made some obvious mistakes there, but at the same time, can you really blame me? I had to take some huge risks if I even wanted to have some kind of inkling of a chance of at least tying out the match. But nonetheless, that is behind us there. I did rebuild the squad, although I was kind of loathe even before doing the first match to try and erase the team. I am going to try and commit on through with this newly built roster, ideally. Although, let's try to prevent having such abysmal failures like having 3 of my main frontline guys injured on the very first turn, no less. That might help a little bit in this regard. But regardless, a better match is all I could ask for at this point. It is showtime. We got an opponent and we're facing off against dwarves. From one bashy team to another, only in this case, my opponent's already appropriately built to be as bashy as can be, whereas Nurgle, at least with regular Chaos, they need to be leveled up a little bit before they get their key abilities. Not really the case with Dwarves. They already got block all around. They are going to be a little bit rough to get by, since after all, their main strategy, hell, I can even look at the roster, is pretty much all, like I said, block. They have 6 skull, which makes it harder to knock them out. Even if I do break their armor on a POW, and where's their looks like they have a couple of the troll slayers. Okay, there they are. These guys are going to be a little bit annoying. I don't know how reliable it is for Dauntless, but they roll a dice when they're attacking something with higher strength than them, so they could get additional strength if they get good rolls. So that could be a bit of a pain. But nonetheless, this strategy with dwarves is they are a slow, grindy type of faction. They want to obliterate my squad and then eventually get a touchdown somehow, because there's nothing left to kind of resist them, is the idea anyway. So if they get to my skinks, they're going to melt them really damn quickly, just because of how fragile they are. Oh god, they even have a death roller. This is going to suck. That death roller is terrifying. It makes me wonder if I get the coin toss and have the option of going offensive, if I want to do that first or not, to try and get a quick touchdown, since this thing is only allowed in the field for like a single pitch. I forget what exactly it's called, but as soon as we have to reset on a touchdown or the first half, that is the illegal weapon that will get ejected. In most situations, it is very terrifying otherwise for that reason alone. It's only essentially going to be in for half the battle, or half the match. Not a pleasant way to start. I feel like I should grab the ball, because the dwarves are going to stall it if I go defensive. And there is some legitimate means of going defense from what I understand, but offense should without a doubt be how I go. This thing is terrifying. It's got strength 7, as you can see there. It's unable to pick up the ball, break tackles, so it can use its strength to dodge a tackle zone as opposed to its agility, which is pitiful. And all the other means a big giant guy has. Hell, Juggernaut. If it takes a blitz action, the opponent may not use their fend or other abilities unique to a double down. So this thing terrifies me. I don't know how exactly I should go about this, but since they're a grindy, bashy team, do I just kind of forfeit fighting them altogether? Since I do have the offensive. In truth, oh, and it's also sweltering heat, which means on each drive, is it? Each player on the pitch, yeah, at the end of the drive. So the good news is this death roller is out once the drive is over, but since he kind of left it back there, he's probably worried I might knock it down or try and do damage since I am on the offense. And it gives it the freedom to attack whoever he wants on a blitz. Since I think the only negative trait it has is the secret weapon, as we see here. So once this pitch or drive is over, it is ejected from the match unless he has bribes, which there are no bribes. So I gotta make sure that thing does not get value by ideally touchdowning early, and then somehow preventing him from getting touchdown back. Now the big question, do I actually go all bashy? I probably do, but since they're all strength 3, I don't think I need to commit everything there, do I? I don't know how I want to go. This is the most bashy type, at least from what I read, since I could just push them to the side and keep beating them up some more until they eventually fall down. But since these things are so resilient, especially block, which basically makes the both down result ignored for them, but it still would knock down my source if I get that result. It makes it a little more reliable for them to stay standing, even more so if they're the attacker. It's a 1 in 6 chance of them actually falling down as a result. But I'm kind of okay here, since I still get 2 dice on every one of these attacks. I'm just wondering, where would I best want my Croxagore? I honestly don't know. It's been forever since I played, and I'm a little bit paranoid or maybe shaken after that last encounter. Maybe. But I do want to touch down quickly, and if possible, do some damage to these guys. These are basic linemen, I believe. Well, they're longbeards, which maybe I'm assuming are linemen. And this thing can only move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it could go for over on the edge. I get the good starting damage potential. It's just a question if the rolls are good. Okay, so they get perfect defense. Damn. So they can reorganize their entire defense to try and avoid most of my guys, which isn't too terrible, because if they try to avoid like the Croxagore, at least then I can use the Croxagore to kind of like mark a handful of these guys that might be problematic otherwise. Since like they just now free up my Croxagore. Ideally, it's the best qualified to do damage. But if I can keep them from pinning down my skinks when they grab the ball, there's a good chance I actually grab it right here. Sadly, not this case. There was a chance to get it right off the bat, but ideally I would have liked the attack, but I could just move however I wish with this Croxagore. Provide the Bonehead, which is the negative trait I have on this guy. Just straight up 1 in 6 chance he ignores my order for the turn, and he no longer has tackle zones as a result. So 2 dice, we're going to start knocking these guys on the side. Actually, let me at least move some skinks into position to start preparing to grab this ball. Since the dwarves are not exactly mobile, which does help a little bit. But I want to make sure I secure the ball first and then worry about grabbing after a little bit of bashing. But if I grab it, where do I go? Might be more likely to go on the right. But these dwarves are right here unless I get good results. But I'm going to pick up the ball last. And Croxagore is going to try and tie something up. Try to. We'll see how these dice rolls do. So push. Push over on the left. I don't think I follow too much. It's definitely been a while, and I'm trying to figure out when's a good opportunity to try and follow up, since I still get 2 dice whenever. And in all honesty, it's probably because I only follow if it would give me an extra dice or help me get extra strengths. Otherwise, I'll push you over. That guy's gonna stay up, but I still have a blitz, to be fair, so it's not a huge issue. Sadly, I have to burn a reroll there. That is really bad. Because that's the value block right there. But I have the ball secured. It's not as terrible as my last match, at least, for a turn 1, so I'll take it. And sadly, the Croxagore didn't do the one thing it needed to, which maybe I should have moved it first. I figured 2 dice and at least pushing or doing something would have been a little more reliable than a 1 in 6 chance, though. Especially since I have a reroll that I spent on there, where Loner is scary because my reroll, if I use on the Croxagore, there's always a chance that could fail on a 50-50. And now that gives them 2 dice, and this is scary. I want to try and end this drive as quickly as possible, for this thing is going to do a lot of damage, but thankfully it did not break armor, which even then, it would need a 9, 10... It would need at least maybe a 9. It says 10 plus there, but I'm pretty certain it's my blow, right? Yeah, +1 armor or injury rolls. It just doesn't show for some reason down here. But that would increase the likeliness of breaking with set armor. And is it at all possible to... Unless I have a lot of people surrounded, it's not likely I can get that up. Let's see, 2 dice. There pushes. I'll take it. Now, where are they most weak? Death Roller is scary, but I almost feel like it's less scary on the left otherwise, since it's just a question if I could get by them. Okay, both down. There's the value block right there. There's 3 opportunities for him to knock down my guys, since one of them is completely ignored, which would have been a negative result otherwise. That is the value of the dwarves there, especially with their starting kit. And what I meant by a nice vicious meat grinder. So first thing I do is get these guys up. I would love to kind of, well, Croxagore is going to have to get up and maybe pin this thing down. And I gotta start making some moves. So ideally, you can push, get 2 dice. You can push 2 dice. I can get a lot of pushing here, but at the end of the day, they're going to beat me in a game of attrition because of the block, having more reliable kind of attacks. They would just have to invest more people. And I still have yet to pick up this ball, and I already burnt a reroll, which is kind of scary. So what I would like to do, maybe blitz this guy over. What sucks there is I only have 2 spaces to move here. And I want to at least make sure I have access to the ball before I do anything. And that's what, a 1 in 3 chance, is it? 1 in 3 chance. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm just a little bit, what is it? A little trigger shy because of that bad result there. But we get double pow. Do I follow up? I think I do. Just to tie him up, of course, some more. You, I would love to blitz with. The question is how to best blitz. Since I need to figure out where to put my skink. Since I don't think I'm going to get much of an opening. Actually, that's not true. If I can push you out, I can go straight through the middle here. And I get the result I want. Thankfully. Now, it's a question of what seems more... It's trying to figure out what's more riskier. Do I try his bash again here? Especially since I got a bunch of dice strengths. This can't go wrong twice, right? It's better than a 1 in 3 chance after all. I don't want to argue, but I never did bother to do the math in my head, even before this match. But I think we have good opportunity to start running. And now we have a clear opening to go straight on through. Perfect. Now I have sources. Just trying to figure out where to best put my skink. Probably right here, since I can sort of get a cage around. I just don't have any extra sources, so this is scary for my skinks in future turns. And these, I don't think I want to put my source near them, because again, their Dauntless is just going to naturally give them the same strengths. So I kind of want this guy to protect the left flank a little bit more. Maybe that's not the smartest choice, but I feel like these guys with block as well as Dauntless are going to negate my source that much better. And it's not a complete cage either. And I gotta remember I have this one skink here to help too. That's gonna be risky because of a go for it roll. And it's... I dislike trying to go for it and roll dice, but it's not quite a full cage either. They do lose 3 movement from gain up, so they can barely move at all, which is kind of the one plus I have going here. Nope, I have 5 seconds too, so I gotta pick quickly. I just go for it. And I don't mean go for it as a dice roll, just move my guys, go for it. A little risky, I know, but if he fell down, it wasn't a big issue since I got what I could set up. And these guys, again, they only have 1 movement because it costs 3 movement to actually get up. So I'm hoping the skink does a decent enough job trying to slow him down, but he might just blitz and get 3 dice on this guy. Maybe. And I could almost... Actually, I could possibly hand off and go for a touchdown next turn. Depending on how this turn plays out. Yeah, it was a 2+ to get Dauntless, so... I think it was a good choice not having the source over there. I think. They still have a blitz. So if this skink stays alive, but the problem is gonna get... Okay, there's the blitz there. I'm okay with this. So, you're not gonna do it. That makes it a little more riskier, because I think this intrudes with my ability to pass effectively. It gives me a penalty rather. And you have block. No stun, no armor break. I almost wonder if I just run with the skink and attempt to go for it. Sweltering heat is scary, I won't lie, but this thing is even more scarier. And I do have a blitz to help push one of these back. Alright, Death Roller, what are you gonna do? Nothing serious, thankfully. Thankfully, but you get 2 dice. Now, I feel like I want to go up there right away. I just gotta make sure I at least clear out one of these guys so I'm not making multiple dodges. Since it's not possible, I do have a blitz to deal with you easily. Oh, yeah, I have to dodge first. So we're gonna be pushing people around a little bit. Is there any way I can use this to my advantage some? Because I can also push one of my guys forward. I just don't know the best opportunity for that. I think it's safer just to push you to the left in case you don't get knocked down. So that works out for me. Push the skink over to safety. Then maybe that was a mistake, because after all, my skink's now kind of blocking the source. That may have been a mistake. I do get a strength out of it though, but that was probably a big mistake. Since now my source can't attack. I was trying to be a little bit clever there. But if I blitz with this guy anyway, he could still move forward to safety without even dodging. And technically, it's sort of the same odds. I don't like this idea, but let me actually blitz first. Okay, I'm not going to re-roll that, because dodge is reliable enough to avoid this thing. And you don't have tackle. I'm still doing a go for it, though. But I think it's worth it. I got it. I think that's a good thing for me. It forces an early touchdown, which normal game meta, game strategy is you want to slow... You want to play slow so that way your opponent doesn't have a chance to touch down at the end of the first half, ideally. But considering that Death Roller, I think it was worth it, which we might see in a moment here, because he's going to be ejected for being an illegal weapon. Or secret weapon. Otherwise, oh, sweltering heat just hit me hard, oh god. They could very well get a touchdown, and they did not get any, so I thought it was a worthwhile risk, but clearly it was not after the fact. Since it's a 1 in 6 chance. Yeah, anytime I roll a 1, basically, they miss that drive, basically. And when you consider that we had the same chances, the same numbers, well, -1 considering they did lose their Death Roller, I suppose, it would have looked a little more fair. I just did not consider... Wait. I don't want to take you off. There. I just want to move. I think I just hang these guys back out of safety. What's the movement looking like, though? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they would need to do a double go for it. Maybe this is a little bit too risky. But considering I just lost 3 sources, I will consider getting that touchdown early and dealing with the Death Roll maybe a success. And it just bit me in the ass some. I just don't want the skinks to die for maybe the second half, although they're not as needed now. I probably made a mistake. This could be a big mistake if they manage to succeed getting a touchdown in the remaining 5 turns, or actually 7 turns. I could have played out a little bit longer. I just did not realize Sweltering Heat would screw me over that bad. At least in comparison to my opponent here. I knew it was a risk, but I guess that was a mistake trying to gamble at. Since Krosa did do a decent job taking those 2 hits and tying up the Death Roller if nothing else, but again, if my opponent really wanted to, with break tackle, he could have fairly easily just disengaged. Oh yeah, and that's the icon for being ejected, basically. So, alright, I was wondering what that was. I thought for a moment maybe it was like some ridiculous level thing. Where is the break tackle? No, that's Juggernaut. Yeah, there it is. Use his strength instead of agility. So that basically would have been a 2+. I don't know if Prehensile Tail affects that or not, though. Which is supposed to give him a negative modifier to... Ooh, extra team reroll. They haven't had need of one just yet. But I can still feel good about that early touchdown to some extent. Now I just gotta prevent them from getting their touchdown. And so, yeah, my opponent's going all in on the aggression, mainly because I had nothing to kind of intercept and kind of deny him that after all. This is a perfect opportunity for him to foul. But my Croc score is almost perfectly safe here. It's almost impossible until they knock back down these two here of getting a 2 dice against it. So I want to say Crosa is in really good shape. Although these Troll Slayers are a bit of a wild card with that Dauntless trait. But at least they would have to blitz to actually get access to any of these guys. So yeah, I think what they're trying to do is just pincer me down, keep me from moving. So if I'm going to break free any of these sources, I kind of need to blitz with them and push, then have a move. The real trick, though, will I be able to stall them long enough for the second half? Probably not, since I didn't. This is technically just their turn. We still got the rest of this half to go. Maybe I was a little bit unjustified with my fear of the Death Roller. But it seems like a huge liability early on, too, with that said. Since it's so easy to eject and they don't quite have the money to get a bribe, which allows you to, of course, bribe the referee to ignore that ruling. At least once. At least for one drive. So they got a lot of knockdowns there. No stuns, though. I could be happy with that. But I am going to have to use a blitz. My skinks. Let's see. I could theoretically get my skinks up there and do a blitz. It would be a terrible idea, though, with that said. Who is the runner, with that said? Because they're the fastest there and he's the runner. So he has the ball right away. I'm going to be relying heavily on my skinks here. But I'm going to try and play this a little bit slow. Try to, anyway. Since they can only blitz once a turn, so if I can double up on these skinks a little bit, maybe that gives me some assurances. They just don't quite have the strengths. It's a bit of the problem. I'm still going to have a blitz, which I probably could have used on one of my sources. Using it on Crosa is a bit risky because of the bonehead. That won't do anything. But taking on one of these Troll Slayers is good because it's a lower armor. It's the best odds anyway. And Dauntless doesn't take effect if I attack them. Pow. There we go. I'm not tying up as many as I would like, but I kind of want to stay there, don't I? At least it's a stun to justify that sum. So, you were out for a turn. That helps alleviate a little bit of the pressure, because this other Troll Slayer would have to blitz if it wants to do any damage, at least. Like I said, they're a bit of the wild cards just because they can match my strength, what seems relatively easily. It seems like it. I don't know what they would need to match Crosa's strength, though. But if I can keep them from knocking down all 4 of my front line, or I guess at this point they're just the middle line at this, since they're not really going to be helping the skinks very much, then I suppose we're doing good. And they have block. Every single one of them has block. I would love to see them fail one of their rolls, but that's going to be a tall order when they're on the when they're attacking. But this is a good use of doubling up the skinks at least, so they don't get an opening. But once they start getting stunned or injured, that doubling up will start fading quickly. So the big question is, how do I free up these guys over here? The only thing I could think of is blitzing one of their weak lines. Whereas only like right here, I could potentially free Krosa or one of my sources by blitzing here and then moving forward. That's the only thing I can think of, but pushes can also help in that regard too. Probably not if they follow up. Yeah, not in that case, alas. But everyone's still standing at the moment, so that helps a ton. I could do some good bashing and open up a window. And my skinks... That's a lot of dodges, of course, but my skinks got a window to go around and put pressure on this guy, which I think I really like the possibility of. Although this guy is basically running interference at the moment. So I think what I do is get you out of the way, and at least that way I only have to do one dodge, going here and then back up. And the skinks are pretty reliable because of their dodge. I just found out I don't want to do multiple dodges unless I feel really bold, since I can only use that dodge reroll once. So I think I start by pushing you. Got a good pow there, I'm happy about that result. And even just pushing you would be good. Okay, stun, perfect. That gives me a bigger opening for a little bit longer. And there's no way I could free anyone, but I could tie up this dwarf if I blitz here. Blitz him, push him out, ideally knock him down. That would be the dream. Because if I fail this, then I'm gonna have to break a tackle. Sadly, that did not pay off for me as much as I like. If it was a knockdown, I would have had a nice window to at least get next to him and put some real pressure on that way. Krosa, I do not want to even attempt to attack with you just because you are so valuable just tying up these guys. At the same time, I don't really want to attack any of them for fear of knocking them out of Krosa's reach. But POW paid off, and the reason I attacked you is because you're still next to Krosa. Would that have... Yeah, that may have bit me in the ass a tiny bit. Because if he was still standing, I could have not been able to do this maneuver I want to do. So that's one failing on my part there. But we'll learn. Ooh, I burnt my dodge there, but that's what the skinks are for. They do the ridiculous crap. They're supposed to do that ridiculous stuff. Now, where do I want this other skink next? Just backing up. It's still a 1 in 6 chance. Oh, you failed the dodge and the reroll. Oh. For some reason, I thought it was for each individual skink. Damn it. That stinks. I was wrong. So, in other words, I'm learning another important lesson. Don't get greedy with all my dodges. Per turn, okay. Maybe that could have been a balance tweak or something, but I, for some reason, thought that was per skink. Which I should get you up just to kind of maybe tie us up, as terrible as an idea as that may be. And otherwise, I think this is as good a turn as I could have asked for. We just have, again, the wild card in the Dwarf Slayer, or the Giant Slayer and back, and a push. It's going to push me incredibly close to the edge, but I do get a 1 dice block if they don't support, with my skinks at least. So I could push them back, or at least do something about this. That'll be something I save for later, though. You're gonna punt. Oh, re-roll that, please. It's your only re-roll, but sadly... how do I punish this? Only way I could think of is make them roll as many dice as possible. Since now I didn't realize they only had a single re-roll, with that said. So the more dice rolls, the better. Eventually, they'll start failing. Ideally, anything on that might involve dice rolls with the ball carriers, since, of course, the runner is not really equipped for fighting. He doesn't even have block as a demonstration. He's meant for one thing, and his role is self-explanatory. And he goes pretty fast for a dwarf with that, with movement 6, for crying out loud. But my skink can get up still. I'm just gonna have to think twice on when I start utilizing my dodge, though. Now, I could blitz with you and push and get in the way. I like the idea of just using my blitz on the source when it seems appropriate, but these two, I don't think I attempt anything besides maybe bash you to move you to the side. But otherwise, what do I feel like I need to do? I would like to get up and move with the skink, but we have more pressing matters. And you have low armor, so I think I blitz with you. Okay, I get a nice POW. I've been getting good luck on the POW so far, but none of them have dodge for Defender's Stumbles, which was that other POW icon we saw. And just intercept and slow this guy down. Simply put. He does have Frenzy, so this skink needs to play a very important part in that. Which honestly, I'd probably just have him go there. Force this guy to have to deal with my skink, which is what I want to use the dodge for. Which is why I'm really scared about. Okay, sorry about that there. What was I thinking? I think I attempt the dodge, at least just to keep in his tackle zone. Since that way he can't move with this. Because the Frenzy is really scary here. And I'm pretty content with everything else currently. This is just a risky one I want out of the way. And that's the value of Stunty. Normally I would suffer a big penalty going into another tackle zone like that. So otherwise, I want to just simply push you out of the way, so that way you don't surf my skink out. But I'll take that. It was lucky, I won't lie. But the odds are still a little bit in my favor. It's still what? Yeah, it's a 1 in 3 chance of bad result, basically. That I was not expecting. I will be honest, that was a lucky break. And missed this next game too. Good God, these skinks are more violent than the sources at this point. Now, I want to tie up our little friend here. I don't think I want to stand right next to him, but I was thinking of tying him up regardless. Now, only thing I have left to do, aside for dodge with you, is attack this one dwarf. Ooh, that sucks. Ow! Ow! So long as it's only a single source, I guess I can live with it. But I'm not going to get my apothecary anytime soon. So long as it's only a single source, I can still pay for it. I can still buy him back. I'm just repeating myself. But nonetheless, the ball runner is slowed down. Both down. You have no rerolls, so you better... Oh, both down, I forgot. Block. For some reason I thought that was a skull. And the runner can't go anywhere. Well, can take the long way around, I suppose. Now, how to bet? I need multiple people on the runner with my skinks, basically, to kind of slow him down. Since there's still 2 more turns for that to get in close. Oh, this... Okay, for some reason I thought he didn't have block, and I was looking at the runner at the time. Sadly, I did not get the skink out, which would have been helpful, but there might be a chance. There might be. So this source, again, is going to tie up this runner. Is what I think I want to try and do. Since you can easily go there, I can have multiple people on the runner, and that will help. That will definitely help. Still got 3 of these guys tied up. And what I think I'm going to do with this source is push you over to the left here and then block this Troll Slayer. I think we just get you up just to tie people up. So Blitz will just ideally push you back. We get a POW. Best result I could ask for there, but a push would have done otherwise. And we tie up this guy as much as we can. More the merrier. Since they would have to use their blitz on either the runner, if he wants to move, or if the runner does the block to deal with my source, and he can't go anywhere. That's the value there. You got good dodge. think I want to go for the push. I got my push. Now we'll tie up the Troll Slayer a little bit. If only a little bit. Maybe it's not as significant as I make it sound, but... Ooh. Oh, tackle. I did not realize you had tackle. Damn, that cost me big time there, not paying attention to that. That basically ignores my dodge. But let's see, can I stall him for one more turn? This position looks good otherwise, so far. It's just a question of how this turn plays out. Got the POW. I would love to see a bad roll, though, at some point. But it's going to be tricky to do, of course. Now tie up the runner for one more turn. Which, any blitz next turn could do it, but can he actually move far enough? It would require a roll. Come on, please do it. Please do it. It's likely to succeed, but that would screw his momentum up immensely. Double stumble, so that may have not paid off for me, but at least and it frees up the Troll Slayer. Big question, what does the runner do? Gonna try it. Ooh, you got the lucky run. Just a push with one dice, but I'll take it. Oh, you should not have followed up there. Krosa still gets it. Oh, you get another. Do you still? You still get extra dice. Dang it. For some reason, I was kind of hoping it was a red dice. That's why they followed up, though. But it tied up everyone here. Krosa just gets up. We'll see if Krosa gets up. Yep, Krosa gets up. You. It will require dodging, so not worth it there. This could still go badly. I have to rely on my skinks, and you have tackle. That's a bit of the problem. So it's a 1 in 3 chance of dodging, or at least of successfully evading, and it's another 1 in 3 chance if I go for the 1 dice block, just to push him, even with a blitz. So gotta keep that in mind. But you, however, do not have to worry about that. There's no tackle on you, which would be better to go, though. There. It's always a little bit risky, but again, this one did not have tackle, so I felt a little bit justified there. And you sadly cannot go. Well, actually you could, but you would have to do a blitz. First we'll get you up. And the only reason I'm not getting up with them yet, because I would like one of them to try and dodge out. But we'll try our luck with the Troll Slayer. Got the POW. I was planning on just staying there. But I think I may have to do a go for it. 2 go for it's even. I was kind of expecting it to be a little more likely. It's 2 1 in 6s, and this would be a 1 in 3, so it's basically the same odds in all seriousness. Nope, failed right away, alas. So I think they get the touchdown easily. It's because of that tackle there. At least I paid attention to it and tried to justify my move. And you just push it to the left. Even if it's... So that was a touchdown there, alas. Now the big question, what happens with sweltering heat for the next half? Ooh, and tackle even negates my dodge when they attack me there. Which is a bit brutal, needless to say. But I like to think that played out decently. Dice didn't favor me on that very last turn, though. Since if the swords could have made it there, it would have been a lot harder to actually dislodge him, as opposed to the skink. So I felt it was like the right choice at the time there. I feel like anyway. But now the big question, what happens with the sweltering heat? Because it could bite my opponent in the ass and I could come back 2-1. Potentially, but I would have to grab the ball from him for that to happen. Ooh, and one of their guys is injured too, that might help, but one of my sources is dead, to be fair. Please tell me you're back up, guys. That's the good news I would like to hear here. I could have just skipped through. Well, this looks like an odd formation. Alright, no one has been suffered sweltering heat, and they suffered one, so that's not too terrible. This is just a really weird formation. Now, this is a bit of a risk. If I'm trying to remember the other formation, I think I'd do it like this, since this accounts for a missing Croxagore, I think. Or at least a missing source or Croxagore while protecting said skinks. The good news, my opponent has very little numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 versus my 10, is it? Yeah, I have 10, so I do have the numbers advantage at least. We still have to deal with the Troll Slayers, which are always, again, the wild card. So they could be scary. So I should seriously consider maybe fouling one of the Dwarf Slayers if I can get a window for it. It just did not seem realistic in the last drive because, of course, 3 of my sources were knocked out from the sweltering heat. Which doesn't do me any favors at all. But at least now we have an opportunity. I feel like it's a good opportunity. It's just a question of how the dice rolls play out. And apparently, oh, my opponent had no rerolls to begin with. They got it on the kickoff. So I should punish that immensely. Another legal defense. So I want to minimize how many bashes they could do. But in all honesty, I think I leave it as is. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little worried about them trying to go over on the... Actually, I know where the ball is, so I can forfeit the left really well. I think that's my justification here. Maybe I don't want multiple people getting bashed. Actually, Frenzy. I do not want to go there because of surfing. Since Frenzy would allow him to potentially push me 2 spaces. And I don't want that. Oh, I cannot have more than 2 players, okay. I forgot about that rule. And I want Krosa to stay there, actually. Try and tie him up as much as possible. It's a bit of a weird formation. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. But given the circumstances, I'll take it. It gives me opportunity to put a lot of pressure on this ball. And Krosa is still tying up 3 dwarfs that they will have to deal with. If they want to at least get their numbers advantage, or at least have a chance on putting equal pressure on it, on the ball that is. Since that's the main value of Krosa right now. The prehensile tail, I don't even need to attack with him, as boring as that may sound. It allows him to just tie up multiple people at once. He just might need some support, which is what Mezdakowet's gonna do. Okay. You didn't get the Dauntless, which was convenient for me. But you get 2 dice anyway. Thankfully, those were lucky rolls for me. Now, I sense this looks like a really good opportunity to foul that Troll Slayer. I feel like it's a really good opportunity. Just a question of how to best do that. Since fouling, I guess, just by its name, sounds like a really dirty thing to do. Ooh, that sucks for him. Because Sure Hand's allowed for a reroll of that ball. So I want to bash you. Simply put. Do I do it right away? Actually, I want to do my moves first. But I also want to prepare for my fouls. But I need to get set up with that said. So I think I leave the source for a potential blitz here, so that way I get an extra modifier on the bash. So skinks are waiting for the Troll Slayer to go get knocked down. Actually, I don't need to do that. This guy, let's see, Goralhi, I can't remember how to pronounce these guys. It's been a while. But he's down. This is going to be cruel, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to try it anyway. Now, I need to clear you to increase my chances. And then I'll have a lot of people here in preparation. So all I really want to do is just push you back. But I get the POW as a bonus. There you go. Following up may be a bit risky. Maybe. But this protects my skinks really well. I'm going to get ready to put pressure on this ball. I want to blitz the hell out of you. Keep you away from said ball. Gain the lucky POWs. I don't know how lucky I am, in all honesty, since in truth I just need one of those to be a POW, as opposed to Devil's Skulls. But I do have a reroll to grab the ball, too. And the risk with fouling is if I ever roll Devils... Oh, I gotta keep in mind, there is a runner right there. They're gonna make it a little more complicated. I don't know if I want to do this just yet. Let's do this one POW. A little more reliable. I have to burn my reroll, which I don't like. But I'm gonna keep you there. Now that I don't have my reroll, I'm not gonna attempt to pick up the ball. I'm gonna do the foul instead. I'm sorry, fella, if you think this is bad play. I do not like your dang dwarf, your troll slayers, though, so I want them out of the play. In some form. There's only 2 there. Krosa's tying up now, so I think I push him forward. Push, I'll take it. Because now Krosa ties up 3 again. And there's still... there is a bit of a blind spot. Maybe I didn't think this through the best. Because you can blitz right through into my skinks. I'd like to think it's good coverage otherwise. I just gotta know when I'm comfortable enough to grab the ball. I probably should have realistically gone after the ball first, but stunning the Troll Slayer is still handy. What did we even roll on the armor break? Let's see. We're really low on injury, so I think I would have had to roll like a 7 or an 8. Well, actually, 6 skull would have helped. So I would need a 9 or higher, so maybe it's not as likely as it could have been. At least to knock it out, but a stun is still pretty damn good for where it is on the field. I'm just giving my opponent time to kind of block my path, which is sort of okay. It's sort of okay because that means if they won't have any opportunity to actually touch down at least. And they're looking for an opportunity to go Dauntless on Krosa. It could work. Yep, they got the Dauntless. Double dice. Boo. That's why I don't like those things. But it frees up the 2 dwarfs here to move. They just can't move anywhere advantageous just yet. Now, how do I play this out? Because now they're basically starting to build up their wall, but I see an opportunity to just knock this guy back and grab the ball. I'm not going to foul just yet. Oh, I need it. This is risky predicament. Unless I can push you back. Since if I move on this space, I knock the ball over, which I dislike, but I do get 2 dice if I blitz here. Risky if it fails, but it's less risky than the 1 dice. And you don't have tackle, I gotta keep that in mind too. And we put pressure on the runner, which maybe I don't really want to do, but now I want to grab the ball. You are really damn tempting to try and tackle, though. Actually, I should have got up with Krosa first. That was a mistake. Not doing as much as he could since he's only tying up 2, but he is tying up one of the Troll Slayers at least. Now, how to best... I need to... Where would the ball likely go? Well, I hate it to go in these 2 spots, in all honesty. But I can time up real well. I did burn a blitz, though, but I do get a 1 dice there. So one of my skinks could just potentially push you back. I'm fine with leaving the ball there for now. I'll save the pickup till the very last moment. Actually, let me get a 2 dice block. But this guy can get up. It's just not as likely now. Because he can blitz and get me in all sorts of trouble. In my back line, no less. I may be thinking about it too much, but it's good to try and at least relearn how to do this. How to play this game, as it were. So that frees up my skink there. I have multiple tackle zones, and you are free to kind of move on up. Which may not be the smartest idea with a Troll Slayer right next to you, but... I think we're looking good. What's left? 2 dice block there, 2 dice block there. I do want to pick up and look for an opportunity to start pushing, though. And then we'll do the foul, attempt the foul. Which isn't going to be a good foul, mind you, since everyone else has kind of moved away. Well, there goes my last reroll. Do we get it? Now, I do want to back up, with that said. If this, I'm a little bit worried. If I fail the foul and you get ejected, that's a clear window for hitting my skink there, so I'm not going to do it. But what am I okay with doing? Mestekoet, you push this one here. Now we have a bit of a surround on these guys. At least this... Oos. Knocked out. I will happily take that. Mestekoet leading the team as the captain should. He just needs the trait that are appropriate for a captain. Which I don't know how easily accessible those are. They're knocked down there. Bring it over to Krosa. There. We are tying up 3 of them for 3 of ours. Maybe it's a good trade. Considering we knocked one of them out, I think it is. Now I gotta find a window to push on forward. And, okay, that's kind of what I was sort of expecting, but at least the skink there denies the blitz on my runner. At the very least, I am really happy I can give you a proper match, even if I technically made a bunch of mistakes already that I'm not aware of. So I'll take this any day. Regardless if it's a tie, I'm hoping I can at least make it a tie. And you have Frenzy, you're going to make another attack. Which paid off well for me, thankfully. And the one downside of Frenzy, a potential downside, is he always has to follow up with attacks like that. Only way he could stand still is if it was a double down dice. And you get pushed. That's scary because, well, you're not really at risk of being surfed because there's no one there to potentially even push you off the field, so I'm not really worried. What are these other ones going to do? You are always a pain, but you failed, thankfully. That's the red dice for me, isn't it? You have to commit to the attack for that. Yes, and you have no rerolls, so you know what's going to happen? Get your ass on the floor. Oh. You weren't even attacking, Krosa. That's one of the risks of having no rerolls. Eventually, the dice are going to fail. Even with the best attempts. And you know what that just did? There's a nice little window for me right here. The question, I gotta make sure I have the opening I need. I would love to put my skink there first, but you never know when a bad roll might bite me in the ass. So I need to make sure I don't accidentally block this path like I did before with one of my pushing a skink in the way of my source. So I could put you there. I think I like you there better, because then at least it blocks these two. Skinks go here. And that should not block anything. So you go there. We have a really good potential of a touchdown here. So we got ourselves sort of a cage. These guys are all tied up. I am not even daring to attempt a dice block that might fail, since these guys can easily run around in my blind spot, I think. Let's see, 4 movement, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not even possible, actually, so maybe I might consider it, but not with Krosa. Gordoli, I wish I took the time to remember how to pronounce the name. I'm going to have him at least do a block. And I'll just leave these guys tying them up best I can. And I do have a blitz, I gotta remember that too. Which I might seriously, well, I would consider for one of these guys so that way I can maybe block the runner or someone. Make sure all of them are tagged or marked, as the phrase would be. Ooh. That's not terrible still. Krosa still has them tied up. So that could have been the best double skulls I could have gotten there. Since these guys are all tied up, they just maybe have the numbers to do something about it. And sadly, my skink's gonna get surfed off. Oops, thankfully just to dodge the bullet there. That was probably not what my opponent wanted, because knocking me off the pitch, or knocking me off the field, is a guaranteed injury of some kind. Where in that case he would have to rely still on an armor break. So the runner's free. You're gonna blitz our skinky friend. Got the POW. Ooh, you knocked out poor Talak there. He's already battered as is, and he got stunned because of the stunty trait, since he's a little more fragile. But what are you gonna do about Krosa? Come on, please, please, indulge me. Thank you. Now, the big question. I could touch down now, but we don't have a death roller for me to be terrified of just yet. But I do need more support. Or at least, actually I could blitz you easily. It doesn't quite push you into Krosa. But that's what a blitz is for. I'm just not going to have very much support. So long as the dice are still decent, that's all I need. It's a double down, but again, it's a double down. It leaves a window. It was less odds than me trying to run with Kungwa. At least I can remember your name. This is still, you are the wild card, but you can barely move, thanks to being knocked down. I should have got up with Gordotil. That was probably my big mistake of that turn, at least. Since there's no value in him being down, even if he couldn't move. So Dwarf Slayer's up. Can't really threaten the ball carrier at least, so there is that. Oh, never mind, I take that back, Blitz. Thankfully I dodge. I got lucky there. I was wrong in that factor, because of the 2 strengths. Gonna try and tag me, but we'll see what they do. I still, realistically, it's better odds for me just to blitz this guy, although Mazdakowet is not going to be able to help support the cage at all. It's a bit of the problem. And I could get a 1 dice block there, and then maybe blitz. And sadly, with that failed dodge, Krosa's only dealing with 2 people at the moment. Which ideally I would like Krosa to deal with 3. And I have the strength to start bashing these guys too, which I should seriously do. But my big priority is obvious. Free the ball carrier. Although a push, anything like that would be bad here. It's not going to be one that ends my turn right away, but I kind of would like to dodge first. If I were to be honest. But this is better odds still, in some form. Well, it's a 1 in 6 to dodge. Maybe I'm wrong on that matter. Ooh, that solves that problem. Now, Kangwa is perfectly safe because you are just going to tie up this one dwarf here. Actually, that's probably not true. Because if I move the skink out... Because if I move here, there's a troll slayer I have to deal with. So we'll just move up a tiny bit more. At least I don't have to worry about him suddenly blitzing me. That's the one plus there in that regard. And I'm perfectly safe. I should be completely safe outside of a blitz, at least threatening me. And you're just going to stay down there. I'm not letting you get surfed. That's a deliberate choice. And I'm not going to bash with any of them, because if any of those go wrong, that could change, because they could go for it. They could technically still go for it, but at least they would have to make another roll with the dodge. Maybe not as exciting as the bashing, but the dwarves are better equipped to bash than my sources anyway. I just need the money now to rebuy my one lost source. I don't even know which one actually got killed, with that said. Halatu. Of course, the butcher had to die twice. So he's not going to get his level 2 mighty blow, which is kind of what I was contemplating giving him if he ever ranked up. He was supposed to kill people, and apparently Nuffle did not like that. Nuffle was basically saying I was the wrong faction to kind of kill and bash people. I suppose. But nonetheless, this is looking really damn promising. It's just a question on how greedy can I get on stalling out the turns. Nope. Did my opponent AFK out? My opponent's not doing anything. Aww. Nope, never mind, they're there. They are there, they're going to attempt to blitz on the skink. Just try and make it hurt, I think is what the plan is. And did stun Karnox. And then gonna go for it. And you do not... Oh, do you have tackle? Yeah, you do have tackle, so I kind of want to push you, first off. Get a 1 dice pow. It will be felt, but if I feel at real risk of losing the ball, then... Oh, he's gonna knock them all down. At least it's tying them all up still. Ooh. And on the plus side, though, if I can get my skink safely out, then actually I could just go over here and just slow him down quite heavily. At least stall it another turn at least. And I won't need to use a blitz, so maybe Gortol could do something with his blitz. I might give him blitz and do something about it. We'll see. Since these guys don't quite have the movement to catch the skink now. It's just a matter of breaking free from the runner. And this Longbeard. Which again, I gotta remember tackle, so that's now a 1 in 3 chance. So bashing is always the better choice here. But first, get these guys up. If this dice roll goes bad, then I'm at risk of losing the ball. There, we got the knockdown. I don't think I need to follow up on you. Even better, we get a stun at least. Ow. Mazdakowek gets some SPP on that. At least the skinks aren't stealing all the experience now. Since, aside for getting touchdown, that's like one of the only ways you can get experience for your team. Is getting the injury results itself. So you are free. I'm going to stall one more turn. Yeah, one more turn. Maybe. Now, who am I kidding there? I could stall out even longer if I feel I need to. But let me blitz with you and see about getting some more support just in case. Where do I want to put you with that said? That's at least in the way. Maybe that was a good spot. Maybe 1 hex left in case this runner decides to try and blitz it and gun it, rather. I would love to try and beat up this Troll Slayer now. It's a good opportunity to. And you are not at any risk of getting after me, so I think it's worth it. It's only a push, alas, but I'll take it. Krosa was getting bored anyway. Although I still feel like my Kroxagor was doing a phenomenal job there tying up as many people as he did. Well, I don't know what the genders are of the lizardmen here, but the name implies they're male. Does knock down Krosa, sadly. Frees up the one Longbeard or the lineman there, but that's not a concern at this point. Okay, it is a Longbeard. Never mind. So now they're just gonna try and hurt me. Ooh, that sucks. And we got a stun as a bonus. No rerolls, they're eventually gonna fail, and I'm gonna capitalize on them, which is why I'm in the position I'm in right now, in all seriousness. Because of that one failed roll. Krosa, can you get up? Yes, you can. My skink can get up. Can't really do anything, but you might as well get up. I just don't know what to do with you. So next turn is my opponent's last turn. That's where I have to do a touchdown of some kind. And actually, my skinks are the most fragile. Maybe I should have just kept them sitting down in all seriousness. Because if my opponent's feeling better about the dice rolls or the results of this match, they are going to try and kill one of my skinks. Well, let's see. Let's try one more block here. Or you could go for it. Maybe I won't do that. Since I'm just realizing that could be a big mistake. But you guys can bash. I'm going to at least tempt you. Push you into Krosa's waiting arms. And actually give Krosa a little bit of support just in case. And at least deny the 2 dice block since this Troll Slayer will only get equal strength if it succeeds its Dauntless. Now, one more bash. I do have a Blitz, so I might as well use that. As tempting as to surf you next turn. You might... Actually, I'm just going to follow up. If you get up, then I push you off the field. No, that's a terrible mistake, since I don't want to tempt failing on my last turn after all. We'll just touchdown. We won't play around with it. And thankfully, my opponent does not have a wizard. Come on, try it. Try it. Just dare. I dare you to do it. Gain the POWs, though. Karma could bite me in the ass. Because if my opponent's going to foul, he's going to probably do it as it's the very last turn after all. Okay, push, but still has Frenzy. And gets a 2 dice block this time. Oh, only an arrow. That could have been a lot worse there. And are you going to attempt it? You did blitz, so I don't think it matters. Oh, that was interesting. You could have just gave me another opportunity to injure one of your guys, which may not have been the smartest choice. Maybe it was a foul. Yeah, probably just getting a little bit reckless there. And I get my second touchdown. There we go. I don't know how my opponent was feeling after those dice rolls, or if I arguably got lucky, but damn. After that brutal stomp of the first match, I feel good about this now. It's a win at least. It's just a question of, can I buy back another source? Since I'm going to need one, otherwise I'm going to have a very fragile front line for my next match. Ooh, and I level up as a bonus. No, I am not sticking with a 1. Let's re-roll that crap. 4. I think that's... Oh, new treasury 70,000. I think I'm a little bit short. And fan factor boot. I think it's 80,000 for a source, but MVP is Axmatil. I'm hoping I got that right. So he's 1 SPP away from leveling. And otherwise, we got a bunch of experience otherwise. Oh my. Karnok's got an injury as well as a touchdown. Kungwa got a touchdown. Mestekawak got an injury. So nice, healthy balance of SPP, I want to say. We did lose a source, though. But big question, can I buy me a new Saurus? I think it's 80,000. Yep, I am just a little bit short, so I think I get an Apothecary and chance winning big for next match. So, it's a win nonetheless. I could be happy about this squad. It's looking... We are not going to have to reset this one, so thank you for watching, everyone.